Welcome to DBMS course, Unit 4, Database Transactions and Query Processing. In this video lecture, we are going to see basic concept transaction, properties of transactions, and concept of schedule. Transaction. A transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. A transaction must see a consistent database. During transaction execution, the database may be temporarily inconsistent. When the transaction completes successfully, that is committed, when the transaction committed, the database must be inconsistent. Database must be consistent. After a transaction commits, the changes it has made to the database persist even if there are system failures. Multiple transactions can execute in parallel. Two main issues to deal with transaction. First is failures of various kinds such as hardware failures and system crashes. And second, concurrent execution of multiple transactions. Two main issues to deal with transaction. First is failures of various kinds such as hardware failures and system crashes, and second is concurrent execution of multiple transactions. A transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. Next, ACID properties. A transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. To preserve the integrity of data, the database system must ensure first, A stands for atomicity. Either all operations of the transaction are properly reflected in the database or none are. Atomicity. Either all operations of the transaction are properly reflected in the database or none are. It means, see, a single transaction may have multiple operations and all operations should commit. If one transaction contains 10 operations, out of 10 only 8 operations completed and 2 failed. At that time, all 10 operations should be failed in that transaction. Either completed all operations or 0. Next, C stands for consistency. Execution of a transaction in isolation preserves the consistency of the database. Then I stands for isolation. ACID properties, I stands for isolation. Isolation, although multiple transactions may execute concurrently, each transaction must be unaware of other concurrently executing transactions. Intermediate transaction results must be hidden from other concurrently executed transactions. See, that is, for every pair of transactions Ti and Tj, it appears to Ti that either Tj finished execution before Ti started or Tj started execution after Ti finished. Next, D stands for durability. After a transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made to the database persist even if there are system failures. So these are ACID properties. Next, fund transfer. Transaction to transfer $50 from account A to account B. Let us see one example of transaction, fund transfer. We are going to transfer money $50 from account A to account B. See, this transaction is having 6 operations. You can see these 6 operations. Read. First operation is read. It means we are going to read the balance of account A. Then we are going to deduct $50 from account A. Then we are going to move towards third operation, write A. Then we are going to read the account balance of account B. then we are going to add, it means we are going to credit $50 in account B, and then we are getting the account balance of account B. Now there are 6 operations in one transaction, fund transfer. Let us say example, transfer $50 from account A to account B. See, in this fund transfer example, let us see asset properties. First, atomicity requirement. If the transaction fails after step 3 and before step 6, the system should ensure that its updates are not reflected in the database, else an inconsistency will result. This is the atomicity requirement in this fund transfer example. Now, consistency requirement in fund transfer example, the sum of A and B is unchanged. Sum of A and B is unchanged by the execution of the transaction. It means after transaction, the sum of A and B, it should be unchanged. Before transaction, what was sum of A plus B? Same sum of A and B should be there after transaction. Then isolation requirement for this example fund transfer. If between step 3 and 6 another transaction is allowed to access the partially updated database, it will see an inconsistent database. The sum A plus B will be less than it should be. Isolation can be ensured. Isolation can be ensured trivially by running transactions serially, that is one after the other. However, executing multiple transactions concurrently has significant benefits as well as we'll see later. The next durability requirement for this fund transfer example. Durability requirement. Once the user has been notified that the transaction has completed, that is, the transfer of the $50 has taken place, the updates to the database by the transaction must persist despite failures. This is example of fund transfer transaction. Next, transaction state. You can see 5 states in diagram: active, failed, aborted, committed, partially committed. The first, that is active. See, in this the first is active, and active, it means the initial state. The initial state is active. The transaction stays in the state while it is executing. Active. Active state, the initial state, the transaction stays in this state while it is executing. Second, partially committed. It means after the final statement has been executed. Partially committed state, after the final statement has been executed. Then failed, after the discovery that normal execution can no longer proceed. Aborted, aborted state. After the transaction, aborted, after the transaction has been rolled back. After the transaction has been rolled back and the database restored to its state prior to the start of the transaction. Two options after it has been aborted. The first, restart the transaction, can be done only if no internal logical error, and second, kill the transaction, and last, committed state after successful completion. This state will be after successful completion. Next, schedule. Schedule, a sequence of instructions that specify the chronological order in which instructions of concurrent transactions are executed. I repeat, schedule, a sequence of instructions that specify the chronological order in which instructions of concurrent transactions are executed. A schedule for set of transactions must consist of all instructions of those transactions, must preserve the order in which the instructions appear in each individual transaction. A transaction that successfully completes its execution will have a commit instructions, as the last statement will be omitted if it is obvious. A transaction that fails to successfully complete its execution will have an abort instructions as the last statement will be omitted if it is obvious. Schedule 1. Let T1 transfer $50 from A to B and T2 transfer 10% of the balance from A to B. A serial schedule in which T1 is followed by T2. The first schedule 1, a serial schedule in which transaction T1 is followed by transaction T2. You can see the operations in transaction T1 and you can see the operations in transaction T2. In T2, we are going to transfer 10% of the balance from A to B, and in T1, we are going to transfer $50 from account A to B. And a serial schedule in which T1 is followed by T2, you can see in diagram. Next, schedule 2, a serial schedule where T2 is followed by T1. You can see the transaction T2, the operations of transaction T2 is followed by operations of T1, that is schedule 2, a serial schedule 2. Now schedule 3, let T1 and T2 be the transactions defined previously. The following schedule is not a serial schedule, but it is equivalent to schedule 1. Now this is equivalent to schedule 1. It means first transaction T1. See, half of the transaction T1 will be finished, then T2 will come in picture, and half of the transaction T2 will finish. That is read account balance of A. Then we are going to use one temporary variable, and accordingly we are going to make operations, and we are going to deduct the account balance, that is amount which is stored in temp from account A, and then again T1 comes in picture. T1 and T2 be the transactions defined previously. The following schedule is not a serial schedule, but it is equivalent to schedule 1. This is schedule 3. Schedule 4. The following concurrent schedule does not preserve the value of A plus B. See, T1, transaction T1, we are going to read the account balance of A, then we are going to deduct $50 from account A, and it means partially account A has been updated, partially transaction T1 has been finished, and we have done transaction T2. And then we move towards transaction T1. See, after partial transaction T1, we move towards transaction T2. You can see in table, the following concurrent schedule does not preserve the value of A plus B. See, value of A plus B, sum of A and B should be same before transaction and after transaction. This is schedule 4. Thank you.